Picture this. You're in the middle of the woods, at night or at dusk, whichever you prefer to imagine. You're just walking along, thinking nothing. And then, all of a sudden, whoosh, something flies by you. It's there. You don't know what it is. It could have been huge, it could have been small, but you know that something was there. Many people have experienced this, and some have even seen it. There are stories out there of creatures such as the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot. Sightings seen everywhere. Some believe, some don't. Well, today I'm going to tell you about another legend, the Jersey Devil. Many don't know of this legend because it's mainly popular down in New Jersey. Today I'm going to tell you about his sightings and his legend. First, let's look at the background and the legend of the Jersey Devil. Elktownship.com tells us of many of the different versions of the Jersey Devil that are out there today. However, it also tells us of the one most popular version of the Jersey Devil. It is said that a Mr. and Mrs. Leeds lived in the Pine Barrens, deep in the Pine Barrens, in the 1700s, and they had 12 children. In 1735, it is said that Miss Leeds found out she was pregnant with her 13th child. And it is also said that she was into witchcraft. And when she found out that she was pregnant with this 13th child, she screamed out to a bunch of women that the devil can take this one. And prairieghost.com tells us that she said that, for her exact words. AmericanFolklore.net tells us that the very night the devil was born, there was a storm raging. The baby was a baby boy, and he was born normal. However, shortly after birth, he took on a body with huge bat wings that looked like a snake, a reptile's body with humongous bat wings, and a head like a horse. Then, with a shriek, it immediately flew up the chimney and was never seen again. Now you're thinking, yeah, right, this story is totally fake. Witchcraft does not exist, and the devil doesn't take a child, and it doesn't change like that. However, many have looked into the background and looked into this story. Angelfire.com tells us that there was a Deborah Smith who lived in England, and she traveled across the seas to marry a man that she has fallen in love with, and his name was he was a Mr. Leeds. Elktownship.com also points out that in every single story that is said, the name Leeds and Shrouds comes up. The Shrouds are said to be the neighbor of the Leeds that lived just across the river. Every legend also involves the Leeds family having 13 children and that last child being cursed in some way. Now that we know that there is some truth in this, there was a Leeds family and they did have 13 children. Let's take a look at his sightings. Now you've heard of Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster being sighted all over, and they have fuzzy pictures and fuzzy things. But The sightings of the New Jersey Devil have been made by not just regular people as the Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster stories. These sightings have been made by government officials and people that are highly, highly accepted and believable. The New Jersey Devil Hunters.com tells us of many of the sightings, the lists of sightings of the devil that were made by the people from the Pine Barrens. The Pine Barrens now are a dark and beautiful area of land. It is 2,000 square miles deep in New Jersey woods. The sightings have happened in 3 stages, all in these woods. They are pre-1909, and then January 16th through the 23rd, full week in January of 1909, he was seen every night, and post-1909. StrangeMag.com tells us of the very first sighting of the Jersey Devil. Now, this sighting was made by a naval hero, Commodore Stephen Decatur, who was visiting the forest and was deep in the forest testing cannonballs, when all of a sudden something flew over top of his head, and it was huge. He said it had humongous bat wings and was huge, so he fired a cannon at it. This cannon hit the bird, as he called it, and it didn't even faze the bird. That was in 1800. And then a few years later, a Joseph Bonaparte leased a house from 1816 to 1839, and he saw the devil while hunting in the forest. The devil returned in 1840 and brought terror to everyone. It picked up large dogs, geese, cats, small livestock, and even went after children. The week of January 16th through the 23rd of 1909 was the most horrific week the people of New Jersey and the Pine Barrens have ever had. The Jersey Devil was spotted every single night, and he brought terror. People were even scared to come out of their own homes at night. So it was like frantic, just like in a movie. After this week was over, the devil was never seen again for very long. 6 years later, he came back and was seen by a cab driver, and who was on his way to Salem and had a flat tire and was in the Pine Barrens. And then the most recent sighting was in 1993 by a forest ranger named John Irwin. JerseyHistory.com tells us that in 1951 he was said to be 7 foot tall with a wingspan of 20 feet. In conclusion, the Jersey Devil was born in 1735 to a Mr. and Mrs. Leeds, who lived in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. For 260 years, this devil has haunted the people of New Jersey in the Pine Barrens and the cities surrounded. He has closed cities, closed businesses, schools, and terrorized many people. The Shadowlands.net tells us that he has been seen by over 2,000 reliable witnesses. Not many have seen the sighting, have seen him with pictures, but there is proof and footprints of him. His terror, like I said, has closed factories and towns and ruined many of lives. Is it possible for a creature as such to be born with a head like a horse body like a reptile, and humongous bat wings, that is for you to decide. Thank you.